friends, welcome back to my channel. I feel like I start every one of my vlogs in the same position, but today is Thursday. I am in the filming mood. I have a bunch of stuff, a bunch of content coming down the line that I'm very excited about, and I wanted to start a weekly vlog while I'm prepping for all that other stuff. But that's a conversation for later. I am coming up on a PMDD episode a little bit earlier than I was anticipating, and the depression fatigue is kicking my ass. I have so many things that I wanted to do this week, and I haven't been able to do any of them because I've just been so tired. Like, I make these grand to-do lists at the beginning of the day, and then by the time I get off work and I'm home, I don't want to do any of it. Today we're gonna go to work. I need to leave here in a minute. We're gonna make a reasonable to-do list of things that I can do when I get home. Hopefully I'm able to accomplish something. A lot of stuff that I need to do this week involves reading, but this weekend my partner and I are gonna have a movie marathon. I'm trying to get all of that reading done, like today, tomorrow. Let's just get right into the video. Let's go to work, do my to-do list, and get right into it. And then we'll talk a little bit later on about what I'm reading, plans, stuff like that. So I thought we could do a fun little book haul of all of the books that I got from my library yesterday. These are all for other videos, so I will be talking about them in this video. But so first up, these are either for my Goodreads fantasy video or my Goodreads sci-fi video that will be coming in like May, June time. But obviously I'm starting to read and film now. But so first up we have In the Lives of Puppets. I've read Under the Whispering Door, which is the other one, and House in the Cerulean Sea. I liked Under the Whispering Door, and I also liked House in the Cerulean Sea, but they're not like my favorites. This is about a house built in the branches of a grove of trees where 3 robots live with their father, an inventor. It sounds like their father gets kidnapped and they have to go on an adventure to save him. So next up is probably the one I'm, if not most, but second most excited for in this little stack, and that is Stoneblind. This is a retelling of Medusa and Perseus. The story upends our understanding of this original legendary myth, bringing empathy and nuance to one of the earliest stories in which a woman injured by a powerful man is blamed, punished, and monstered for the assault. It says, they will fear you and flee you and call you a monster. I'm very excited to get into this. I do feel like it's going to be pretty emotional, and I'll have to read it like when I feel equipped to handle an assault story, but I am excited for this. Next we have The Light Pirate. I am not feeling too hot about this one. It's for the sci-fi, and it's like an apocalyptic world told in 4 parts: power, water, light, and time. Mirrors the rhythms of elements and the sometimes quick, sometimes slow dissolution of the world as we know it. It is a meditation on the changes we would rather not see, the future we would rather not greet, and a callback to the beauty and violence of an untamable wilderness. I don't love like post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic worlds. They're not my favorite. Next up is the one I'm most excited for, and that is Trees of the Emerald by Brandon Sanderson. I do know that this is in Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere, and I am not all the way caught up, so I'm hoping that I won't spoil myself and or need prior knowledge. First of all, love this, the end pages. Oh, this is Tress of the Emerald, not Trees. I thought it said Tress. Tress stows away on a ship to seek the sorceress of the deadly midnight sea. She meets some pirates, and she has to leave her simple life behind and make her own place sailing a sea where every single drop of water could mean instant death. Very excited about this. Like I said, I hope I don't spoil anything for myself, but pretty excited. Probably the one I'm most like convinced that I'm really gonna enjoy. And then lastly is also for the sci-fi video, and that is Chain Gang All-Stars. It's a debut about 2 top women gladiators fighting for their freedom within a depraved private prison system not so far removed from America's own. A kaleidoscopic, excruciating look at the American prison system's unholy alliance of systemic racism, unchecked capitalism and mass incarceration, and a clear-eyed reckoning with what freedom in this country really means from a new and necessary American voice. Lots of good but emotional reads. So those are the books that I got from the library. And then before I let you guys go, I did just finish watching Wonka, which is the prequel telling the origin stories of Willy Wonka and all of that. It was incredible. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I do. I'm a theater kid. I love musicals, but I'm not like the biggest Willy Wonka fan. I prefer the second one with Johnny Depp to the first one, unpopular opinion. But this one was exceptional. Timothée Chalamet did a fantastic job. I loved the musical numbers. It captured the whimsy, hilarity of the first Wonka movie. It was a great addition to that franchise, and it made me cry a little bit. I did shed a couple of tears, so I'm definitely glad that I watched it. It's gonna be probably a new like comfort movie that I put on in the background when I'm reading and stuff. So that's really it. That's all the updates I have. I've just been reading for other videos and stuff and doing side business stuff. I have not been feeling my best emotionally this week. I think I spoke about it previously, but I started an episode and I have just kind of wanted to be in bed. So that's what I've been doing. So not really anything crazy to talk about, and I don't really want to talk about it at this very moment. So I'm gonna get back to reading for this fantasy romance video, and I'll check in with you guys later. Good morning, friends. Happy Monday. I thought we could talk while I make my smoothie for the morning and kind of talk through last week and how I've been feeling and stuff. So let me get my stuff to make my smoothie first, and then we can talk. You can't see what's going on down below. We'll just quickly go over what I put in my smoothies. I'm not like a smoothie connoisseur. I just do what I like with a little bit of like stuff to make it semi-healthy. So first up, I use a little bit of Greek yogurt. I know you're supposed to use vanilla, non-sweetened, but I hate the taste of non-sweetened Greek yogurt, so I use vanilla. I also use a dash of vanilla oat milk if I like don't have enough Greek yogurt, just to like make up some of the liquid difference. We have some baby spinach that I solely just use for a little bit of health benefits. We have sunflower seeds that I use for seed cycling, and almonds, but I'm pretty much almost out. Coconut, because I freaking love coconut. Bananas and strawberries. Same, love bananas and strawberry together, perfect combination. And then I will use white chocolate as well. So I have been working the past week to complete the romantasy video that you already would have seen. Pretty much from Tuesday to Thursday, Friday, I really didn't want to do anything. Like, I was just really exhausted and I wanted to lay in bed, which I did, and it didn't even feel like a rest that I needed because I was just exhausted from working. It just felt like a rest that I was like required to take, even though I wasn't really doing a lot prior to, which is frustrating to feel because it gets into the weeds of you trying to justify why you need rest. And that's always a rough spiral to go down, especially because I preach, you know, slow living and taking a moment to breathe and rest, and I don't feel like I have been doing that for myself. I have to put stuff away because my cat will steal it while I'm making it. That's just a thing that you have to learn. Like, you have to, we're so conditioned to constantly working and constantly being productive in a monetary way, having a hobby that fulfills our needs, and having a side hustle, and having all of these things that make us these valuable members of society in the eyes of capitalism, because we need to produce monetarily so that we can spend and feed back into the economy. And I just am not for that. My dream one day is to be doing this full time not specifically YouTube, but like creation, doing things for myself. I don't really talk about that because I just don't really find it healthy for me, because it's not something that I like to dwell on. It's not something that I think is feasible. This is what it looks like. Something that I think I will really ever reach in my lifetime. I might get to a point where I am self-employed, but I don't think it's gonna be through YouTube. That's just being completely honest. Not only do I have bills and animals that I have to take care of, but I just don't think that that's in the cards for me with YouTube, and I am okay with that. My voice cracked. I really am okay with that. I have come to terms with that, but I don't want to push and push for a dream and kill myself in the present because I am trying to achieve this dream, when yes, dreams are important and striving for what you want is important, but you also have to live with yourself while you're trying to achieve these dreams. And I don't want to be completely miserable for the sake of it. So definitely too much spinach. So I'm trying this new creamer, and I thought we could do a little taste test. It is white chocolate raspberry. I don't know if it's oat milk. I'm gonna find out. I don't think it is. I think it's regular like creamer, but we're gonna give it a shot. I haven't drank regular creamer in a long time. I guess I'll find out whenever it gets through my digestion. So, first taste test. Honestly, I didn't know what this was gonna taste like. I had white chocolate raspberry flavor before when I've worked at the coffee shop I used to work at. This isn't bad. Definitely better than the chocolate oat milk that I'm drinking right now, because that shit's gross. This is what we're working with today. So I just have this like preschool teacher dress and my white Air Force Ones. So I thought in lieu of a wrap up or a reset for the month, I could just kind of talk to you about my month, how March went for me, like my mental health, all of that, in this here vlog. The two questions that I like to ask myself, or the two questions that I'm gonna ask myself this month when I reflect on my month, is did I feel mentally at peace this month? And I definitely think I felt more at peace than I have in a while. I do this thing where I'll have really good mentally strong weeks and I start to beat myself up and question it a little bit, and I think that's kind of par for the course for people that have chronic mental illness. It impeded my peace a little bit, but I had a lot more good days than I had bad days for sure this month. The time change helped, the sun helped, and my mood is just improved a lot over the last month as opposed to December, January, and February. I am in weekly therapy sessions, which are really good. It gives me a chance to talk about the little things that show up in my daily life and get them out, and it helps. And then the other question is, did I experience any burnout this month? And I think when you are autistic and also mentally ill, there is always this delicate line that you have to walk where you want to rest but also be productive and get things done. And I don't mean in the productive like grind set mindset. I just mean that you have a job to do, you have these other things to do to just like function and like pay your bills and stuff like that, and you obviously have to do that. And I think when you have these other things that are taking energy away, you burn out faster. It's really hard for me to distinguish between wallowing and actually needing to take a break. My body is demanding that I rest, or am I not wanting to do anything and I'm allowing various things to be my excuse? And I think that's a balance that I need to find, because I don't necessarily think that wallowing is a bad thing. I think it can be very clarifying and it can be very helpful, but wallowing in the way that I tend to doesn't do anything for me. Want to do everything that I can to help myself mentally in whatever way that looks like. I need to continue trying to find ways to better myself mentally. Overall, I would say in March, it was an improvement mentally. Still have things to work on, but overall, I felt good. So I think I'm gonna keep my goals going into April pretty easy. I want to maintain the 2 videos a week that I have been doing, in addition to pre-filming all the May and June content that I have planned. I will be doing 30 videos in 60 days. Between May and June, I'll be doing 30 videos. So I've already planned all of that out, but I want to make sure that I'm like keeping up with it. Most of it doesn't start until mid to late next month. I want to get back into a movement routine. Prior to my injury, I was falling off a little bit, and then I injured myself, and I haven't been able to walk regularly, so I definitely haven't been able to jog or anything like that. So I definitely want to start pushing myself to get back into a movement routine. And then I also want to try 2 new creative endeavors with my videos. So like 2 new thumbnail styles, 2 new editing styles, something like that, just to kind of flex my creative brain. I like the content that I make, but I edit this very similarly in most videos, and so I want to just try new stuff. I want to do 30 days of Sudoku and crosswords. I have started doing Sudoku every night before bed and crosswords in the morning when I have my breakfast. And at night, it's really helpful to quiet my mind and get really focused on Sudoku and then go to sleep. It like tires me out because I have to focus really hard, and it's also like a mental workout, and I really enjoy it because I'm a patterns person. So, and it allows me to kind of get tired. And then crosswords are a good way for me to kind of like mentally check myself in for the day without being on my phone or doing something like that first thing. So I'm really enjoying that combination of the Sudoku and crosswords, and I want to really get that as part of my routine. I was doing really good about doing it every day, and I've kind of slacked over the last week. And then my last goal for the month is to journal once a week. I changed up my journaling method for probably the foreseeable future, unless it stops working for me or if I find something else. But I have been daily journaling, quote unquote daily journaling, and I have been just writing everything that happens in my day. So like a kindergartner, just writing, this morning I woke up and I ate this for breakfast and I went to school. Like, I've been doing that, and it's very helpful to identify reoccurring feelings and also remember things that came up during the day that I might want to dig a little deeper into. I haven't been doing it every day, and it's not the same. It's not the journaling style that I use every time. Sometimes I have a very good idea of what I want to work out, like what I want to journal and figure out. And so I'll just do that. So I do the daily journal part, and then I identify feelings within the day that I had, or a particular event that sticks in my mind. I identify what that feeling was, and then I break it down. So like if I had the feeling of being scared, I break down that. Why was I scared? What about that thing made me scared? Kind of like that. I break it all the way down until I get kind of to the root of the issue. Those are my goals for this coming month. I decided not to do the word of the month. I instead went with a quote that is a little bit corny and cheesy and stuff, but I like it and I think it's worth noting, because I was looking on Pinterest for just like journal page ideas, and I just saw this and I really liked it. And so it says, quote of the month: what a good day to be proud of all of the progress that I've made. So I decided not to do a word and tasks and all that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna go into the new month with these very broad goals in mind. That's kind of it as far as my goals and how last month went. When I get home, I'm at work now, obviously. We're gonna talk about what I'm gonna be doing this weekend, because I kind of want to just like chill, but we're gonna be doing stuff. We're gonna be reading. My partner is working this weekend and I don't have anything going on. I don't have any side business stuff to do. I do have some filming that I need to do tomorrow. I have 3 videos that I need to get filmed and edited and stuff. So Saturday is probably going to be a busy day, or I'm just gonna do it all today, depending, we'll see. But then the rest of the weekend is gonna be easy peasy, and I think I have off Monday. So that's so excited for that. So I'm just gonna spend the rest of the day working, and then when we get home, we'll decide what we want to do and I'll update you. We'll talk about what I'm gonna read. It's gonna be lots of manga and Lore Olympus, I think. So yeah, we'll talk later and I'll break down the reading slump that I'm also kind of in. So I figured we could talk while I do some much needed skincare. Today is Saturday, and like I mentioned yesterday, I have quite a bit of time on my hands. I did end up getting that video done, edited, ready to post and all that yesterday. I didn't have time for much else, if I had to be honest, because it took me like 2 hours to film and then almost 3 hours to edit. So I didn't get to finish the other video that I wanted to film, which is fine. I might reorganize my filming schedule, or I might end up filming it today. We'll see how I feel today. Today I am free. So plans for the day. I want to watch some more of The Summer I Turned Pretty. I started it yesterday. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's not gonna be like a new favorite, but it's a good watch. I never read the books, so I have no frame of reference. I read her other popular series, but I have no ties to this, no nothing. But it's basically about a girl who always vacations with her family in this one place every summer, and she's kind of like the sister, the odd person out, the one that they always leave behind. And then there's like 3 other guys, her brother and 2 other guys who are like her brother's friends. They're her brother's age, and she has grown up around them, but she's kind of always been on like the outside looking in. They've always left her out. And she recently went through a growth spurt, and she goes back for the summer, and the 2 brothers are there and her family's there. She has a crush on one of the brothers named Conrad, and he's like the broody, mysterious bad boy. And she also has a thing with another guy who she meets at a party. It's just like teen drama and like first love and all that kind of stuff. Production is good. The boys aren't the best. I would say like the most believable one is definitely like Cam, in my opinion. Conrad is not the most like believable broody bad boy, but you know, it's fine. So I would like to watch some of that today. I don't have like a goal in mind. I am on episode 3 of season 1. So, and then I also have some reading plans, and there are some quite hefty reading plans. I started the Demon Slayer manga series last year. I have watched up to where the anime is, and I want to read all the rest of the series that I haven't gotten to. So starting with 12 and working all the way up to, it looks like 23 maybe. Quite a bit, quite a many volumes to read, but I'm on volume 12. This is the end of the entertainment district arc. This is basically about a kid named Tanjiro. He finds out that his whole family has been slaughtered by demons. His sister has been turned into a demon. He becomes a demon slayer, and he's looking for a cure for demons so that he can cure his sister and she can go back to being a human. And so he's like slaying demons and interacting with the other demon slayers, the Demon Slayer Corps, and he is discovering his own powers and fighting stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of Demon Slayer. I think it's a little bit kiddish and the plot isn't the most interesting, but there's something about it that is quite charming. I think in general Tanjiro's character is really well done. He's sort of like this kind-hearted kid who gives sympathy to everyone and just comes from a place of love. I don't mind it, but I would like to just kind of get this off my plate this weekend. So I'm going to be reading this as much as I can. So I'll definitely keep you guys updated as far as how I'm feeling about it. But before I get into that, I need to make my coffee. I've already had my breakfast, and I'm gonna watch the rest of this episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and then we'll get right into it. I did just finish the first season of The Summer I Turned Pretty, and I did cry. Yep, thanks for asking. I did cry. I also made a decision about Demon Slayer. I think I'm gonna DNF the whole manga series. My partner got the box set for me for Christmas one year, and so I kind of felt a little bit compelled to finish it, but I'm just gonna keep them on my shelves as like part of my collection because I do like the anime. The manga is just not for me. The anime has similar issues. They're both a little bit low stakes. Like, you can definitely tell that like Tanjiro is always gonna win every single fight. He's always going to be able to overcome any issue that he has. No one's ever gonna die. Everyone's always gonna get out of it. So it just feels a little bit like pointless, and the plot is definitely a major issue. It just isn't something that I want to spend my time reading, especially if it's not something that's going to be successful for me ultimately. I know the end is quite tense, like a lot happens in the end, but ultimately I'm not willing to read 20 volumes to get to there, you know? So I'm gonna spend the rest of the day watching The Summer I Turned Pretty season 2, and that is probably going to be what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, unless I read Lore Olympus. I am on episode like 120 of that, and I'm probably going to read a decent chunk of that this weekend when in between TV shows and stuff. I do also want to watch Poor Things, the movie, which is like 2 hours long plus. So yeah, I'm just relaxing. But as far as the first season of The Summer I Turned Pretty, I did enjoy it. So I believe when I updated you guys earlier saying that I was reading it, I was only like 3 episodes in, and I said that the most believable guy was Cameron. Jeremiah was like brother vibes, and Conrad wasn't like the believable sad bad boy. My opinions have changed a little bit. I do feel like Cameron was the best option. Just in general, he was so sweet, so kind, so cute. If our attachment wounds weren't mistaken for passion, I believe that he would be the right option. But he's not the fun option. Yeah, I get why for like story purposes, but honestly, like, he's the best option. I am liking Conrad a lot more. I was sort of like downing on him because I didn't feel like he wasn't like a believable bad boy, and I don't necessarily know that that's what his character is supposed to be. He is dealing with a lot. He is holding some family secrets in, and so he's been very distant with people, but he is sweet and considerate, and he does really care about Belly, who's the main character. He really cares about the people in his life, and so like, I don't think he's necessarily supposed to be a bad boy character. I think he's just going through a lot and trying to internalize a lot of things and not wanting to include the other people in his life in those very heartbreaking things that he is dealing with. So I definitely like him a lot more. He's a little bit wishy-washy, but like, I get his character, and I do think the actor is doing a good job of portraying his character, and once I got past thinking that that's who he was, like, it made more sense to me. Jeremiah, I don't know what it is about his character. I think because I know about the book, like Jeremiah in the books. I haven't read the books, but I've watched videos of people basically spoiling everything that happens in the books, and I know that he's like a complete dickhead, and I know that he's also kind of a dickhead in the show. I know that's like, not everybody has that opinion, but there's just something about his character that I don't like, and I don't like him for Belly, and I don't like, he just feels sneaky. He just like does some things that I think are selfish, and he makes decisions about what Belly does and doesn't know that feel selfish. I don't know. I'm not a fan of him, and I didn't like that little like spurt where they were together. I don't know if they're still trying to be together, but I'm not a fan of Jeremiah. So I'm gonna get into season 2, and we'll talk as we go. This might just be like the Summer I Turned Pretty review video, but yeah, so that's where we're at. So bye.